Welcome to C++ programming. My name's Blades, and today I'm going to look at RNG, random number generators, a big can of worms. Look it up anywhere you want on the net, on YouTube. Random number generators really can be done 1,000,001 ways, and the truth of the matter is you can't do one. It's impossible. There is no true random number generator available for a computer. To actually have a proper one, you would have to have a machine built, and as I used to work for a place that had a machine built for it, I know. And I know how it works, but that's beside the point. What we have here is a problem to solve, and we solve it in many ways. I'm going to use a very simple solution because I'm a very simple person, and for the amount of randomness that I want in a game, it's exactly what I want. But that begs the question, how much randomness do you want in a game? Well, look at XCOM. I play XCOM. You can go and watch it. It's on the same page. I've got a full series on XCOM, and it's a percentage based, which is obviously too random. Anybody who plays XCOM for a long enough time starts praying to the gods of RNG that they're going to hit the next creature with a bullet. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be placing your faith into the hands of RNG. You should be giving, as a game maker, you should be giving all the skill to the player. The fun for a player is not beating the system. It's winning versus the odds against maybe other players in player versus player matches or whatever. So what would you prefer? Would you prefer to have a high degree of randomness, a percentage system? Or are you more like me, where you'd like to take a lot of that randomness away and rely on player skill? In other words, if they point a gun at somebody and click the button, it shoots them. I mean, anybody should be able to pick up a gun, point it in the right direction and pull the trigger. It's not the gun that kills people, it's the person that pulls the trigger. Good argument. Bad argument. But there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a dice type method into our maths area. Problem is, at the moment, we're all gunked up with our last test. Yes, we are. So let's just take a look and see what we've got. We do have quite a lot here. Yes, we have way too much here. So what I'm going to do is test. Let's have a new folder. And we haven't actually created a source folder for this one yet, so we'll pop one in. And new folder. I'll call it archive. Why not? Because that's what it's going to do. It's just going to be an archive of the tests. And under archive, I am going to have a new file. And it's going to be called 3D test. Yeah. So that's 3D test. There we go. No dot after it. I just want a text file. I don't want anything else. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top of main and to the bottom of main. Don't need the to-dos. There'll do. I'm just going to copy it. Copy it over to the 3D test. There we go. That's that done. Lovely. So our test is stored for whenever we might need it again, or to reference it again. That means I now don't need anything in here. Actually, whoa, I've got using amber. I'll keep that, because that's what this is for. This is the test for amber. What I don't need is all the way up to there. There we go. So that gets rid of that part. There's nothing in there, and I don't want all these header files. Thank you. There we go. So, how am I going to do this? Well, first of all, I'm going to use the dev area. I'm going to show you how I do things now properly. This is my test bench. Using amber space, namespace amber is not going to work. No, I didn't think we're going to need that because we haven't got any of the includes. That's why that's not working. Okay, I'm in. We're in. So the first thing to do is to write within our dev area exactly what we want to do. I don't think we need that much space up here anymore. There we go. There we go. It should all fit, the whole of the test area should fit on one page. 28 lines long, and there's a to-do at the bottom, and it's wrong. Let me just redo my to-do. Right, to do a to-do properly is ***, and then you do that, and let's see, I want a stars going across now. Saying done, and then here we have our to-do, and I'm going to label this for me, so it's Fraser. Fraser Sharp, the blades. Yes, that'll do. And just give myself a bit of space, and we just close it at the bottom, go in a square, and there we go. Okay. I am going to leave in here height maps. I'm also going to place here, see how it automatically does me stars, and it's RNG dice, which is what we're doing today. Yeah, that's okay. So, not done. So I'm going to do the top one. So I'm going to pop that one to in progress. And save that. And let's go up to dev. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a class. I'm going to call it dice. Spell class properly. Oh my god, I've been away from programming for all of 2 days and I'm going to pieces. So let's pop that there. Now the class, I'm not going to be obviously splitting up into 2 areas. That's pretty obvious. So what are we going to actually be doing with this dice? We are going to be doing statics. This is going to go into our maths area. And if you remember, a lot of static information is in there. It's just stuff that we can use on the fly, as it were. And this is actually a good one. What we can do here now is we're not going to do a constructor or anything like that. There's no need for one. We're just going to go diving straight into it, and it's public, isn't it? So I really could have done a struct, let's be honest, because there's not going to be any private in this. Let's go for the first one. So it's a static void, and it's of course in you know the first parts of this anyway, because we've already done it in the game series if you followed the game series. Initialize dice. And that doesn't take anything, so I'll just pop a semicolon on the end of these to start off with, so it gets rid of the red squigglies, and I'll put a gap in. Static int, I believe it was. Yeah, and that's roll dice. You know what I've done? I've broken the rules again, haven't I? So it's roll dice. That should be a small I. Those were the rules that I set down at the beginning, so I shall follow them. The roll dice was an int number of dice, and of course the type of dice. So that's another int. What I also want to add is my way of doing things for RNG. I use a 3D6 system. So here, using a 3D6, so 3 6-sided dice are rolled, and the results are then compared to a skill, which goes from 3 to 21. That's right, it's 7s, yeah. 3 to 21, because 21 is impossible to get to, obviously, on 3D6, so that's why. But that's so that we can do percentages if needed. So it goes from 15% up to 105% if you want to convert to percentages, which is an obvious way of converting the game rules if you want percentages. It's an easy way of doing it. Yes, you should always be able to go over 100 on percentages. Yes, I know. So using a 3D6 system, we need some way okay. We have now a static, and it's a bool, true or false, and it's critical success. Because everybody likes a critical success, don't they? I mean, you hit some, you're in one of these fancy role-playing games, you go to the boss of the thing, you hit it in, bang, you're doing massive damage. Oh, it's always good fun. So, int, and its effective skill. You have to know the skill level of the person, and you have to measure it against the dice roll, the 3d6. And that's how we get a critical success. Now, if you're going to do critical successes, you also have to, and I mean have to, implement a critical failure. If you don't, you just basically rewarding the player for no reason whatsoever, with no chance, or with no chances of a critical failure. It would mean there's no risk. So no risk, critical successes. No thanks. There's got to be a reward, and if you give, you've got to take away. You've got to have balance within games. And this is how it's done for 3d6. So again, it's exactly the same. It's effective skill. Nothing special. Int, and it'll be dice roll again, won't it? Nothing weird going on. Nothing weird at all. So this is what we've got. We've got 4 things we can do. And each of these 4 things have to work properly. If they don't, we've got a problem. And we've now got to set it so that they are balanced, totally balanced. Now, obviously, the first two aren't too bad. They're straightforward. You already seen the code for these, so that's okay. Let's go for it. We are going to need... Oh, God, what we're going to need? We're going to need something, aren't we? We are going to need... Let's see... CS... TD-lib. Yeah, this is C. Of course. And that's a C-lib into C++. Good. Hash include... Yes, we have C-libs in C++. C time, please. Because that's where all the random number generators are stored. We need time to implement some kind of initialization, and we need the standard lib which holds the random number generators. If you look it up on the C++ site, you'll find it there. Okay, so we've got our includes, and now what we need to do is pop in the functions, and the first function we get is srand, which stands for seeding the random number generator, and it's a static cast. Unfortunately for us, because I'm doing it properly, most don't, and it's unsigned int, because that's what I want, and it's just using time, and we'll have null. We don't care what time you use. Current will do. 3 closures and a semicolon. What's wrong with my static cast and time and everything? Nothing, absolutely nothing. Go away. That's that done. Rolling the dice. So we've now initialized the dice. We've set the first random number to be generated to somewhere in our memory. Because how the random number generators work is they just take a slice of memory and take a number out of it. Yeah, it is, because the only random thing that you can possibly think of on a computer is whatever is stored in memory, whatever is placed in memory at a certain time or point. And that memory can obviously be changed over time. So there we go. That's how it works. And int. We'll have a return value, and we'll set it to 0. We'll have a for next loop, and that's just going to be int, well, we use I, why not, equals 0. As long as I is less than num, the number of dice. I plus plus. And for each number of the dice, we are going to have return plus equals, and it's going to be, I'll have to open a bracket here to get it all complete, because I need a +1 on this. Rand function modulus the type. So random number generated could be anything at all, divided by whatever type we have, and we take the remainder. So that keeps it within 0 to 5 if that's a 6-sided dice. Because of that, we have to add 1, and that gives us 1 to 6 then. So if I was to divide by 6, it would give a remainder of 0 to 5. There we go. And that's that. I've specified it as an int. No static casting going on here, is there? No, it's an int. No, that's good. And it's a throwing thing. Yeah, that's good. Lovely. And all we need to do now is return right. All done. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. Nothing complicated there. Now let's get complicated. What we're going to do is have a return value. So it's going to be a bool. Return equals false. And what we're going to have to do is look at the effective skill. Okay. And we are going to have to limit it because it can go to 21, can't it? This system doesn't work at 21, so yeah, we are doing 3 to 20. Oh, that's okay then. Wow. I'm glad my brain works sometimes. So it's effective skill. So if the effective skill is greater than 20, because we have already said that it could be, we need to limit it. Effective skill equals 20. If we don't limit it, then the system will just blow up in our faces. So the first thing to do is set a max limit for the effective skill. We've got to do that. We've got to tie it down. We've got to know the largest value. Otherwise the next line won't work. So if effective skill is greater than 14, yes, we've got to choose a spot. 14 is 50 plus 20, 70%. So if the effective skill is greater than 70%, then crit we haven't put a crit value in, have we? We don't know what crit is. Int. Let's have a crit value. Let's start it off at 4. Let's give people 20% chance to crit. That sounds high, doesn't it? No, it isn't. Trust me. Not in a 3D6 system. I'll show you why in a minute. So, crit plus equals. And it's going to be... let's have a look. Yeah, put it in brackets. Why not? Effective skill. And it's going to be minus 14. So it could be 0. If it is... No, it can't because it's 15 or above. Right, 14. Yeah, that's it. I didn't say equals. No need to. Now, this is a tricky bit. If the dice roll is less than or equal to crit, then a ret equals true. So what have I really said? What, 20%? You've given them 20%? No, I haven't. 3d6. 3 times a 6-sided dice. How easy is it to get a 4? Yes. Just let that sink in for a minute or two. So if you roll 3 or 4 on 3d6, you are going to get a crit. It's not. That's a very, very low value. That is very low. But if you have an effective skill of over 14, in other words 15 or above, we are going to add that to the crit score. So the maximum crit score is +5. So at 20, sorry, it's +6, isn't it? I'm an idiot. +6, which is 10, which is 50%. So if you have 100% of hitting something, then you have a 50% chance of critting, because having a skill of 20 means it's an auto hit. Anything above 20, anything above 18 is an auto hit. I might just minimize that down to 18 actually. Not sure. maybe that should be minimized a bit more. I'm not too sure. But that then, as soon as you come below 10, you hit 9. 9 is still, well, it's 45.5% or something stupid, if I remember rightly, off the curve that this makes on a graph. Because it's a bell curve. If you look at the probabilities of rolling any number on 3d6, it's a bell curve. So it starts off really, really low. I'll pop this over here. So it starts off really, really low, then it goes up and it goes into a curve, comes back down again and goes quite low again. And the middle part here is 10.5. The very centre of it is 10.5, which is 50%. Interesting. Does that work as a calculation? Will it work? Yes, it should give us a reasonable critical system. But we're going to have to reflect that in the failure system. So if it's too much of a critical, what's going to happen with failures? Yeah. Again, we're going to have a bool. Ret. Oh, didn't even return it there. Sorry. Return ret. There we go. There we are. And that equals false. So let's pop that one in. Now, again, let's get this effective skill thingy maxed. So if it's the same, isn't it? Let's just copy it. Same line. We've got to get a max skill. There we go. Got a max skill now. I wish that stopped doing that. Oh, it's because I've left me semicolons on, isn't it? Yeah. Take the semicolon off the end, that helps. Okay. Next part is yeah. I'm not sure I like this. Right, the first part. I'm going to try and write this properly. It's if the dice roll yeah, let's do it this way. Dice roll, yeah, I'm just trying to think this through. Equals 18. That's literally an auto crit. An auto critical failure, sorry. Then ret equals true. Sorry, I'm thinking as I'm trying to think at the same time as typing and it's not working out for me. Oh dear, Blades, you're having a bad day, are you? What's wrong with true? Silly. Else, if dice roll equals 17. Okay, 17. And the effective skill is oh god, what's that gonna be? Oh right, yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking through. It's going to be less than 16. So that dice roll is going to have to be bracketed. Yeah. So 18 is okay. I need another bracket, please. Thank you. Because we're going to have to do an AND here. And we're going to have to AND that with the effective skill. And if I remember rightly, it's less than 16. Because obviously, if you've got an effective skill of 17 and you roll 17, you shouldn't be getting a critical failure, should you? Yes, that is pretty true. Close, close, and that's ret equals true. Now, we're taking care of effective skills of, sorry, effective dice rolls of 17 and 18, haven't we now? So now we're at the 16 stage. So we need another else. If dice roll is greater than 10. What's the lowest critical failure can go? Should it be 10? If you've got an effective skill of 10, the dice roll has to be greater than, right, okay, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 5. Right, 5. 5 is a good number. Because we've done 16. 5. 15. Yeah, that would work. Okay, sorry about that. I had to think through the equation there. So dice roll. This to me is actually pretty difficult because I've got to do calculations in my head here. Is greater than or equal to, and its effective skill. This will only hit anything at 5 or below. If your effective skill is 5 or below, so we're just going to have to add 10 to make that happen. So 16 will be caught. Maybe 6. Dice roll of 17. Skip, yeah, okay, 10. Yeah, that's right. 10. Why I've got that in brackets, don't know. No reason to have that in brackets, it's a straightforward one, this. Ret equals true. That will catch any skill of 5 or, like if you've got a skill of 5, it will catch it. 4, 3, 2. 4, 3. You can only have an effective skill minimum of 3. It can't go below 3. Because it's 3d6. Well, it can, in effect, but hey ho, we're not going to go into that. Because it's effective skill, isn't it? Now, that means that if you have an effective skill below 3, ooh, you could be in a lot of trouble. I'm just wondering whether we should put a minimum effective skill on it. I think we should. Because if we don't, it's going to really cause problems at a later stage for me. So it's return ret, and I'm going to put a minimum on. So we'll left a space here. Let's pop this one in. Effective skill is less than 3, which it can be. Effective skill equals 3. Otherwise, it's going to cock up the spread. And I need the spread to be correct. So that spread and that spread should be equal. That goes to 50%. That doesn't. That goes to 25%. Which is less than 25% on the roll. Okay, so 3 plus 10 is 13. Oh, it gets close. It doesn't give you 50%, but it gives you about 42.5%, I think it is. Yeah, that'll give you 42.5%. Right, happier. So they're pretty well balanced, with critical failure just being on the lower side at about 42.5% for worst effective skill against best effective skill at 50% there. Okay. I'll go with that. Effective skill lowness doesn't affect that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how are we going to test it? Interesting, you'll say. Where are we? We're in dev dice. Okay. Let's try it out. So dev colon dice colon and we'll initialize the dice, which you should really only do after user input to get the random time going, but that's a different story. Yeah, that'll do that, and then we need to do 100, I would say. Yeah. So for I equals 0, as long as I is less than 100, I'm going to change it 1 equals semicolon I plus plus. I'm doing it that way so I can print out the number. I'm going to go through a loop of let's have a look. Dev dice roll dice, open brackets, and I want 3d6. 6. Thank you. If and it's a bool return, remember, so I can put this inside here. Dev colon dice critical success, and now I have to choose a skill level. So I'll choose a skill level of effective skill of 9 and a dice roll of whatever this equals here. And we'll just call this dice. And it's going to be an int. There we go. And that's just dice. And what we'll do here is I will do an std out. C out. No. I'm going to put I. And then I'm going to put equals a crit success. And then all I'm going to do is output the skill, no, dice roll. I know what the skill is, so I can calculate from there, and that'll do. And that's just going to be an std colon end the line. There we go. What I'm going to do now is exactly the same. So let's just copy that line. If it'll let me, thank you. Just copy the line, please. Except it's not success now. Failure. And dice, yeah, blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. And that's an int. Thank you. There's the test. Once a test is complete, it stops. Okay. And what are we doing in here? Excellent. So, did we alter this to do the builds? No. I didn't. Okay, that's fine. As long as I know. I don't need 3D test anymore. Okay, terminal. Run build task. Build succeed. And run. And see what kind of results we get. We got, out of 100 rolls, 1 critical failure on a 17. 9, 17. So let me just follow that through. How did we critically fail on a 17 with a skill of 9? So follow that through. Let's go back. Gave us a critical failure. So effective skill 9 is not greater than nothing there. Effective skill is less than 3, nothing there. Dice roll equals 18, no. Dice roll equals 17, and yes, the skill was less than 16. So it's true. Ah. I see, yeah. It's just to stop the 17 error. Okay, that's fine. That's correct. That result was correct. I think we better increase the number of times we do this. So what I'll do is I'll just add a 0 here. Okay, let's try again. Run build task. Now, I've forgotten already the number that it gave me. Where's that gone? What's that? No, 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 no. Okay. Because I want to see whether it repeats. I mean, that's the biggest thing. So, run build task. Pardon? I just changed something. Okay. And let's run. Excellent. This is better. So on a roll of 4s, 3s and 4s, we're getting failures. Critical successes. And on rolls of 17 and 18, we're getting critical failures. So that matches up. Absolutely fair. So at both ends of the scale, we've got two numbers that can get us a crit, success or failure. Nice. So 10, 22, 76, 78, 98. So no, this is nowhere near the same as the first run. 10, let's just rerun it. Okay, let's just have a look at it. No, it's completely different. Absolutely, completely different. But the spread is still nice and evenish. So we've got a run of 3, then a fail. But look at the spreads on this. That's a lot of dice rolls. That's a lot of combat attacks. So every time you attack, 1,000 attacks. Wow. We just tested 1,000 rolls to attack on 3d6. Wow. Could put the hit score in, but I already know what that is, so I'm not bothered. Yeah, that's okay. So effective skill of reasonable effective skill. Let's have a look. Is 9 plus 3 plus 3, 15. Let's see what happens when we go for 15. Should get less crits, less failures and more success is the idea. The higher the skill level, the more the system should reward you and not disappoint you. Okay, that's fine. Run. So we should see far less failures, and of course we do. So we are being rewarded for having a high skill, and we are also not penalising them. So they still have the 17 and the 18. We're getting that harsh result of a failure, but you now have 3, 4, 5 on here. There's no 3s being rolled. Oh yes, there is 3 there. Very rarely. 3 is the rarest number to be rolled. 5, it's the 5s that'll stand out. Because 5's not that bad to roll. 101, 106, 107. But it's not in your face. It's not every roll. It's still very, very infrequent. By the spread of the numbers here. Okay. That's good. That is really, really good. Now, the problem comes, obviously, when somebody has the effective skill of 18, which should be an auto success, and it isn't. Because I've decided I don't want auto successes. I still want that failure. Terminal. Run build task. Okay. That's good. So it's successes all the way. We might see a failure. No, we're not. Oh yes, we get 1. 1 failure, 2 failures. 2 failures in 1,000. Yeah, that's okay. And of course the successes go all the way up to 8 now. 8s. 7s, 8s. Anything bigger than 8? No, it's stopping at 8, is it? Yeah, that's okay. That's absolutely fine. That's about right. What I wanted. Far more than I expected, but no, that's right. So if we go to the other end of the scale, and say that the person's got a skill of, an effective skill of 4, not a skill of 4, but an effective skill of 4 after modifiers. Yeek, they're in trouble. They have a skill of 9 and they are trying to climb a 90-degree shear surface at -6. No, -5, sorry, that will give them a skill of 4. So it's very possible. Minuses can go up to 6 because it's a D6 system. Let's just roll that. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of critical failures here. one success, critical success. 2. Very few critical successes. You're expecting the critical failures to be high because you're trying to do something stupid. Yes. And they're not that. The crits are not in your face again. They're pretty nasty. Oh wow, there's quite a lot up to the 99. Oh, that's terrible. And it seems to settle down. Yeah, it settles down after that to about 4 or 5. About 1 in 20. Yeah, that's right. Which is what I wanted. There we go. That's critical success and critical failure, fully tested. I'm more than happy to throw that into Amber SL. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah. And that's how I do my test-driven workbench. This is my workbench. This is how I work out whether I like things or not. I know this system. I designed this system 20 years, 20, 30 years ago. And on paper and pencil, it has survived the test of time. So for 3D6, I'm going to use it. Test done. So what I can do now is I can take that, cut, paste, and just put complete and tested. Of course, you keep that note. Keep it to show you what you've done and in which order, and put notes if needed about the test. So that's that part. Let's just put in progress. No, I'll put completed, tested, and added to the SL maths. There we go. And I'll put colon, colon. And that's where I'm adding it to. So to make that happen, what we do is we take our class, we cut it, we go to maths, and we have a new file, and it's just going to be called dice. Sorry, dice.h, lowercase. Pop it in here. Headers. Need those two. Cut those out. Pop those in. Yeah, that's right. Pop those in there. Just thinking, how did we do our dice keys? Like in maths, no, maths, Amber, math, no, we kept them outside. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we'll put them outside. No, that's fine, as long as I know how it's going. don't want to clash with anything in here, so it's just, yeah, that's fine. I know what I'm doing. Nice. So all we're going to do is namespace. Yeah, okay. And that's amber. And that's that. Delete. Go to the bottom. And conclude. Return. And it's gone up in the air. Why has it gone up in the air? Class dice. Did I not get the... Oh. Fine. And that's that. There we go. That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. All I have to do is move you over. That is now right. Yep, semicolon's in the correct place. That's good. All the lines are lining up. That's even better. Save it. Now we have to encode that. So let's just swap this over for a minute to Amber SL. Yes, there is. Oh no, there isn't. Oops. Keep you up for a second, because in Amber SL we have to join it up, don't we? There. So we now have added an extra bit, and it's only in the headers. I'll put it with the maths headers. So source, maths, and it's dice.h. And let's thingamajiggy. So now when I use the terminal, it seems not to be picking it up. Well, that's great. What I will do is just check in here. Let's have a look now. That's better. Why is it not adding it? Okay, we need to clean terminal. CD Amber SL. And into the exec file, list that up. Yep, so it's make clean. Now list it up. Yep, that's okay. What I'm going to also do is delete you. Let's have a look now. Amber SL. Where did he go? Ah, my exec just disappeared. I mean, I've just deleted the wrong thing, haven't I? New folder. Oops. I wanted it clean anyway, so there we go. So ls cd Okay. That's better. Run the build task. And we're done. Excellent. Got a full build. Full fresh build. I can put that back to dev. Is it 1? Or just dev? I think it's dev 1. Test. Still got big red marker on my test here. Stop putting big red markers on my test. That's that done. That done. That's done. Main. Here we go. So now what we have to do is hash include, and it's maths. / and that should just be dice, and it doesn't seem to be coming up. Huh? That's interesting. Ah, it's doofy doofries, isn't it? Get rid of that. Leftovers. Okay. So now this is Amber, go on, math. Is it plural? Yeah, it is. Maths, dice. Initialize dice. That should now be the same. So I can copy that. V. Oh, it isn't maths, is it? We don't use maths. Never have done. Whoops. My bad. That's right. I thought it looked a bit weird. Just because I've never typed it before. Yes, that's right now. So we'll just put our 3d6, okay. Put ourselves back to standard, or the normal numbers here. And the test should run as before. Lovely. And test is successful. Lovely, yeah, nicely spread out. Yeah, correct numbers. Fantastic. That is it. Yeah, that is it. So all I can say for that is, and that is now done. So dice are now included within maths. And that's done. That's source done. That's done, that's done, that's done, and done. So test is done, that is done. All we have to do is tell it to update everything. So RNG dice added to Amber SL maths. Yep, send it on its way. We're done. Now, there are a lot of other things that dice can be implemented for, except for just role-playing games, so it's something to look at. That is a very simplistic implementation, and I found it works the best because it is simple. It can't really fail or go wrong. Well, it can, but that's a different story. I know the downs and outs of it. Otherwise, there you go, randomness within Amber SL, as if I'm not random enough. So, oh gosh, what's this thing here? Yes, of course, because I haven't asked for it. Thank you. Silly thing. There we go. So, take care. Good luck with whatever you're doing. If you want anything at all, explaining or going over that I've done before, previously, or you want me to show how to do something new, pop it in the comments below. Yes, that's what the comments below are for. Just try it out and I'll get back to you with a little video or something, and we'll see what we can do. So you lot take care, and above all, have fun.